All right, so we're going to go through the notes on 6.3. This is on page 19 in your pink booklet. 1 second here. All right, so we're on page 19. You'll need your calculator. I'm going to shrink up my face here because it's just in the way. So what we're looking at is similar polygons. It involves the idea of scale factor. Remember, scale factor is just how much bigger one object is than the other object. So similar polygons, any number of sided figure, 3 sides or more. We looked at triangles. Some of these will be triangles that we look at. Some will be other, 4-sided, 5-sided, whatever polygons. So the symbol for similar is just this one single little squiggle. And it just tells you that the 2 figures, their corresponding angles are equal. Their sides are proportional, which means they reduce to the same fraction. They have the same scale factor. So for this first example, they want us to decide, are these 2 figures similar? And then list all the angles that are congruent. And then what is the scale factor? What are the proportional values there? All right, so the congruent angles, you can do this 2 different ways. You could look at the diagram. The diagram has angle F with 1 single mark and angle Z with 1 single mark. You could also look up here at how they told us they were similar. F and Z are the first letters, so you don't even need a diagram. Angle, if you look over here, angle G has 3 marks in it. Angle Y has 3 marks. So angle G has to equal angle Y. Also, G is the second letter, Y is the second letter. So even without the diagram, we can figure it out. Angle H has to equal angle X. H has 2 marks, X has 2 marks. And finally, angle J has to equal angle W, the right angle in both of these. So in similar figures, similar triangles, the angles that correspond that are in the same position are equal. What's different is the sides are going to be proportional. Well, what does that mean? That means if you match up the sides, this side 20 corresponds with that side 25. So 20 over 25. Remember, we talked about scale factor yesterday. Scale factor is that fraction reduced. So with your calculator, you're going to type in 20 divided by 25, and then just reduce the fraction. It's math and number 1. Right, gives us 4/5. So this first pair of sides reduces to 4/5. Now we just need to check that the other sides also reduce to the same fraction here. So the next one, if I use 16 over 20, those 2 sides correspond. Another pair of sides, I'm going to write all these down before I use the calculator. 12 over 15. See if that reduces the same thing. And finally, the last pair of sides that correspond is 24 and 30. You may be able to do these in your head. You may want to use your calculator for it. Just slide this over a little bit. So I'm just looking to see, do all of these fractions reduce to the same thing? So 16 over 20, 12 over 15, finally 24 over 30. Right, just reducing each of those fractions. Each one of them you can see reduced to 4/5. The same as that first fraction. Since these all reduce to the same fraction, they all have the same scale factor. That means those 2 figures are similar. They have the same shape, but they have different sizes. Just get my calculator out of the way here. So now you're going to go through and do the next example. The next example just involves triangles. I'm going to slide this back over for you. So you're going to do the same thing. So it's only 3 sides that you have to set up and 3 pairs of angles. So you're going to fill in this. So my congruent angles would be angle R and angle X. Angle T, the middle letter, and angle Z. And finally, angle S equals angle Y. Right, the next thing you're going to fill in as well. So what are the sides proportional? Find the scale factor. So you're going to fill in your fractions. The first side, 20 over 15 corresponds, or sorry, 25 over 15. Next pair of sides, 30 and 18. And finally, the last side's 20 and 12. Right, using your calculator, you can reduce those. This is going to reduce to 5/3. This will reduce to 6 will go into both of those 5/3. And the last one, let's see, 4 will go into those. You get 5/3. So my scale factor is the 5/3. Now, if one of these didn't reduce to the same fraction, then those triangles are not similar triangles. So we're going to do some of these problems. You are doing this assignment. It's page 20 in your notebooklets, but we're going to do a few of these together, and you're going to type in your answers into Edpuzzle. All right, so let me clear this ink. All right, so let's do 31 together, and then I'm going to have you do a few of them. Any of the ones that we don't do together or don't do in the video, you're going to have to finish then for tomorrow. So let's do 31 together. So 31, they ask, are the polygons similar? So if you're looking at the angles, we're looking at the corresponding angles are equal. So this corner has 2 marks, this has 2 marks, that one has 2, that one has 2. So those 2 pairs of angles are congruent. These 2 pairs of angles are congruent, this one and this one, this one and this one. So their angles all correspond. So I know that the angles are all equal. Now I'm looking to see if the sides are proportional. So I'm going to match up 13.8 and 4.6. See what that reduces to. I'm going to match up the rest of the sides. So 15 and 5. Well, that one I can reduce in my head. I know I get 3/1. This side's the same, 13.8 and 4.6. You could write it again if you want. It's going to reduce the same fraction as this one on the left-hand side. And the last pair of sides that correspond are 24 and 8. So that you can reduce as well with your calculator. That one I can do in my head. I got 3.1. So let me see what we get with that first fraction then. So we have 13.8 divided by 4.6. Math and number 1 will just reduce that fraction for me. I got 3. It's not written as a fraction, but if I have to put a denominator there, it would be 3/1. So what that means is that this top figure is 3 times as big as the bottom figure is. All right, you are going to try number 33 in the video. It's going to stop. You'll fill in your answer. I'm just going to slide this up and clear this ink first. All right, so try 33 right now. The video will pause. All right, so for number 33, my dot here. For number 33, this angle is 80. This angle is 80. This other angle here would be 100. This would be 100. That's 80, 100. All the corresponding angles are equal. So the figures are similar. So now we're matching up the sides. So 36 over 30. 42 over 35. I have 36 over 30 again. I don't need to bother to reduce that. And I have 42 over 35 again. So you don't have to repeat those numbers there. So then taking our calculators, we're going to see if both of those fractions reduce to the same fraction. 36 divided by 30. I get 6/5. 42 divided by 35. I get 6/5. Since both of these reduce to the same fraction, These are similar, so our answer is yes for that. All right, and then we can look at maybe one more of these problems here. Let's try number 38. So this is a pair of rectangles. 37 looks very similar to it here. So for 36, you're going to do this one by yourself. The video will pause for you. All right, so we're looking for the scale factor. We're looking to see, does this reduce to the same fraction? So 42 and 30, those are in the same position or correspond. And then the bottom, 24 and 20. We'll see if they reduce to the same fraction. The other side's 42 and 30 was the same as the ones on the left. And then top and bottom, the same as the 24 over 20. So again, we can put this right in the calculator and have the calculator reduce it for us. So 42 divided by 30. 24 divided by 20. And 42 over 30 reduced to 7 over 5. And 24 over 20 reduced to 6 over 5. Well, that's a problem because they reduced to two different fractions, which means these figures are not proportional. So they're not similar rectangles. They're both rectangles, they just don't have the same shape there. Okay, I'm going to stop and then you are going to go back and you're going to do all the problems that we didn't do from 31 through 40. So pages 20 and 21, you're going to finish those. Now, to get your points for today, you have to fill your notes in for the video and answer the questions. And then another 5 points will be doing finishing pages 20 and 21. That's 5 points. And then finish page 20 through 21. That's also 5 points. All right, so that is it.